I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just young downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought.
I can tell you that 7 years after Freddie Gray, that was 2015, spring, April, May. This is 2022. Communities like Sandtown, all we saw then and now in terms of investment was a renovated Western District Police Station and a new funeral home. That's what West Baltimore got. A new police station and a new funeral home. What kind of optics are they? Was Freddie Gray any different than 1968 Baltimore riots? Dr. King's passing, killing, murder? Is it the same?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I think, well, first of all, people who are being violent and burning, that's, all that's the same. But the point is what was the cause and what were they attempting to register?
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns.
I love you.
They deserve an ounce. It's got next. And I'll be up. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. First name's Donnie, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. We are very fortunate today to have a celebrity in the house. His name is Charles H. Smith Jr., affectionately known as Choo. He's born to Brenda and Charles Smith Sr. on November 30th, 1970 in West Baltimore. He's a graduate of Baltimore City College, and earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science from his beloved UDC. Without further ado, we present to you Sandtown's own. Let's give him a round of applause, Mr. Choo Smith. My man!
What's up, Donnie? How you doing, babe?
I don't know if you know this, man, but before I got to Dunbar, I did 2 years at Baltimore Polytechnic.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't never really ribbed you about Baltimore City College.
The crazy thing about it, Don, I was trying to go to Carver because my dad went to Carver because, that was the zone school, and he wouldn't let me go. So he had me,
Why?
My list was Dunbar, City. No, it was Dunbar first, Poly, then City. I knew nothing about City, to be honest. And then
I knew nothing about Poly.
Yep. And then my grandfather took me to Gilman because they was offering me a scholarship there. And I got afraid and I was intimidated by the classes, because I wasn't around Caucasian people. So it was like only 9 in the class. Nobody looked like us. So it kind of intimidated me and I didn't go. So I didn't go to Poly because I didn't want to wear a tie. And then it was a little emblem that they said they got to clean with a toothbrush. So
that never happened to me.
Yeah. And then that's why I went on to City. It's crazy.
The one thing they said at Poly was freshmen who are called weenies or wieners would get hung upside down by the shoelaces on the bus. There was one challenge though, Chew. Before getting to Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, I went to Lamel.
Wow, yeah, I know about it.
And if somebody tying you upside down by your street string on the 51 bus, then you are what we would refer to as a coon booger.
Wow, man.
And you did not want to be a coon booger. So to get to Poly, and somebody is talking about doing first physical harm and then humiliation, holding you upside. Well, that was just antithetical to Lamel, because while I was in the top class at Lamel, you better know how to throw these up at Lamel.
Yes, indeed.
You better know how to throw them up. If you grown up in Sandtown, anywhere near the corner of Baker and Gilmore, you had to know how to throw down too. But I had a question for you. This came to me just before the interview. What has taken you farther, the ball or the book?
That's powerful, man. It's it has to be the book. You know, has to be the book, because
Why?
and it's ironic you asked that question, because when I was 5, 6 years old, my father put the balls and the boxing gloves, and my mom put the book. And it was a balance. And they both said, these are the two things that can stretch you in life to get you to understand the human fabric way of life and have people skills and be able to understand the historical condition that we're in today. And it was based on sports and knowledge. So my mother was like, we're not raising no dumb kid. So it's the book. It's always been the book. I tell you something, Donnie, that's so funny about you saying the book. From 5 years old, and I'm 51 now, I have never went to the bathroom doing number 2 without a book in my hand, ever. Never. From 5 years. I cannot do that without a book in my hand. It has never, ever happened. I will hold it. I have to read something in that comfortable space. I know that's TMI, but just to tell you how powerful it is from the book. But it's the book, man. All day long, it's the book.
And you wrote a book. You wrote a couple of books.
Yes, yes. You know, and I'm in the process of finishing up these 2 major books, and the timing of them coming out, it speaks to the space we all are in and how we are to respect the space and the inclusion of how God intended us to live versus how we're living. We are to be inclusive.
Shoot, you claim Sandtown. Living in Sandtown, I see one of your childhood friends almost weekly, Will
Yeah.
over across the street from Gilmore Homes. Being from Sandtown, does that give you the being from Sandtown, does it require you to have a certain level of responsibility for Sandtown?
Yes, it does.
But you that was years ago that you lived in Sandtown. You grew up here.
But the thing is, and you know, Donnie, you're a history guy, and you pay respect to the forefathers and the foresisters. So my family lived in that area since the 1930s. So you got to understand. And then they took on, once we got out of the project area and things of that. Then we was in a row house on Fulton Avenue. And when you had 25 people in a row house and you see the historical positioning that your parents put you in, that's the root, that's the foundation. And I'm just grateful because it was loved on when we were children. Even though we didn't, I didn't know, I knew we didn't have much, but I didn't think we were super poor because we was rich in family and rich in spirit, and we just found things to do to occupy our idle time, and
When did you,
everybody held each other accountable. It was
when
just beautiful.
when did you realize? And by the way, this is a message. Do you know Dr. Taborn?
No, I don't. No,
We have
I heard of
we
it.
have to introduce you to, but the first thing I should share with you is that he's hired me almost a year ago to be the news director
Mm,
for STEM City USA.
love it.
We have to get your young people involved, and he's really going to love. He doesn't know what we're going to talk about,
Right.
but he's going to really love to hear about your new school. Because you ever put those Oculus goggles on?
No, I haven't. No.
I have a pair upstairs. Have you seen Mark Clark with them on, and he's doing all of these different exercises?
Yeah, I bought my kids some. Yeah, so but I never used them. Yeah.
So the beauty of Dr. Taborn is when they built those Oculus goggles, don't get me wrong, I just get the impression, especially here in America, that when they were designing the metaverse with Zuckerberg and those people, I don't think they were thinking about black kids. Maybe they were just thinking about money. But
Right.
given the history of this country, I'm just not certain they were thinking about black kids. But nonetheless, Dr. Tyrone Taborn here, he would be the modern day William Still.
Wow.
William Still was Harriet Tubman's dear friend, and he's known as the father of the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
So Dr. Taborn is working against a similar kind of slavery, digital slavery,
Mm,
where children in Gilmore homes don't have access to the information superhighway. So he's what we call someone closing the digital divide. I call him a digital freedom fighter to make sure that we're in the metaverse. When I go up in there and I set up Black Wall Street, I see Peter, I see, John, but I want to see where, LaQuisha and Jamal at.
mm. Powerful, man. But that's what it's about, man. We gotta, and that's what, some of the things that I've learned over the years, when you're giving back and you're trying to serve, you realize that it's so many things that's so important as it relates to being exposed and having resources. And big shout out goes to them because we need it, and we got to have our kids out in this competitive society with confidence and knowing that they can scale their gifts and talents. So it's just beautiful, man, to know that.
I know we're going to get to the school, but I did something last night. That's Michael Randolph. He left Santan. He down in Florida. He ain't never coming back. I think he done fell in love with a Floridian woman, and he ain't never coming back. But he say hello every day.
Yeah. Big shout out to you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Chew, we live in a world where very few people come back to the community. Why do you stay connected? I mean, you've been to many countries. You and I mean, you shared with me about the time you were hanging out with the Israeli prime minister and, leaders in Jamaica, but you've been, several countries in Africa as a Harlem Globetrotter, but you never forget Sandtown.
No, it's I mean, for me, it's really all of Baltimore, man. Like I'm really,
Okay, you don't forget East Baltimore. I see you
yeah, yeah,
emceeing the games over at the Dome.
yeah.
Nobody does this, Chew. They get their money and they leave.
No, I mean, I credit everything to my parents, man. You know, my parents, I thank God for them every day because they got me to understand that it's bigger than me. And we all have a space in this world to contribute. And I just think when you can be around greatness, you become great if you want to be great. And a lot of times we settle for mediocrity because we don't, that's all we see and that's all we know. And the reason I give back, man, is because I was that little kid walking down Mondawmin, going down Old Town Mall, going up Park Heights to go to Cinderella's, just trying to find my way and dreaming and wanting someone that's older than me to show me something that I love and taking me to the next level. And it never happened, to be honest. Like I had to keep finding my way. You're too small. You're not going to be amount to anything. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. But I had a father that said, you're great. I had a father that said, you can do anything. I had a father that says, fatigue make cowards. Mental preparation is everything. If you outwork and if you have the discipline and you understand integrity, respect is earned, it's not given. I just had a dad that kept staying on me, and then I had a mother that nurtured me and said, your brain trust is everything. Think it through. It's always what did you do versus what another person does. Be a solution person, be a game changer. So when you getting fed that and then you apply what's being fed to you, then you can understand people, you can understand situations. So when I come in and I deal with the city or I deal with people, the first thing I want people to know is I come with genuine, pure intent. And then secondly, how can I make you better? And how can we collectively come together to make others better? And I try to live that to the best of my ability. And that's what I want young people to see. And when we can elevate young people, they'll stop hurting each other. They'll stop saying, like, I want them to be able to see a way. See, we can talk to them all day long. Everybody talks. We all can sound good, but can we put things together where it can scale performance? The reason they're geared to certain things is because they see it and it looks good. It sounds good. It feels good. So let me be a part of it. So if we can make being smart attractive, see, that's the biggest thing. And you know that like anything. Knowledge is the most attractive thing ever because you will be able to figure something out. Then when you put knowledge with the gift and the talent, then you put knowledge with a good heart and great integrity. Now you have a package that is supreme. So now when you go and start collectively coming together with different people and everybody has those packages, now people will say, oh, it's okay that you can fail. It's okay that you had low self-esteem. It's okay that you was hurt and you've been beat up and you've been dealt with abuse. These people came out of that and they have these things. And that's what it is. It's all based on fear, Donnie. People are afraid. And how you deal with your fear determines the outcome of your result. And that's why I give back because I want people to see that and stop allowing nonsense to get in their way because it's always a will and a way because that's God, what God intended it to be.
So so you talked about surviving the inner city, the mentality. We haven't gone into this realm yet. You just touched on it. Yes, you got to use your brain. You got to be physically able, physically capable. But you started talking about the spirit. Now, I'm going to hit you with something, and I want you to comment on it.
Okay.
Over 10 years ago, you gave me the greatest sweatsuit that I ever had. Last night, I gave that sweatsuit away.
Woo!
To a homeless man.
My man. Wow. That's deep, Don.
I've been wanting to ask you for enough. Well, I did ask you a couple times, but they don't make these sweatsuits on trees, and it's a special one. Why must? But I know it served its purpose in my life. I also put in that bag a sweatshirt that belonged to my dad. I've been holding on to it and holding on to it and holding on. He been gone since 03. Now I still got his coat. I ain't gonna never give his coat away. But it came to me, somebody else, it can serve somebody else better than it's serving you. And I tend to believe that you got to make room for new blessings. And you can't do that holding on to old stuff.
Let's talk about the spiritual connection to what you just said. Now think about what you just did for that homeless man, something that was given from somebody that cares about you, and that you gave it to care about them. That's what this work is all about, and that's what the spirit is all about. That's why it's so important. You gotta hear me with this. That's why it's so important that when we go through things in our life, that we heal from those things we go through, so we can be a testimony to pull other people through. It's called the pass-through of love. We have to understand the pass-through of love. That's the power in adversity. That's the power in trial and tribulation. We are going to have to honor the cross. We have to bear the cross. It's no getting around it. We are going to go through tragedy, crisis, situation, but we got to see the spirit on the other side of how we deal, how we give, and how we continue to move forward in spite of our situations, whether good or bad. That sweatshirt, that shirt from your dad had sentimental value.
I put a leather coat in the bag too, but I ain't tell you the other part. Now, you know my first book is Unapologetically Black.
Right.
I put these clothes in a bag by the dumpster. I'm pretty certain the beneficiary of that bag is not black.
Wow.
Here in Sandtown, we are inundated with addicts who do not match the majority demographics of Sandtown. These are addicts who come here from all over the East Coast for the heroin, but they find themselves living in bandos. They living in bandos. Last week, I saw this brother named Snake. For the past 5 years, he was living in a bando across the street. And if you see Snake, and I got his permission to tell this story, his real name is Michael. And when he told me that, I said, I will be calling you Michael. But then I saw him, next time I saw him was ran on the avenue. Now, we got to remember people, places, and things. God clean you up. People, places, and things change them. But he was looking good. I'm telling you, Choo, this cat about 6'3", but he had so much of that heroin, he walked with a hump in his back. He couldn't stand all the way up. He walked like this. I saw him Sunday. He been shooting dope since the slave ships. Arms swole up, hands swole up, look like mitts. But I remember talking to him one day, And come to find out his daddy was a preacher. Because despite his condition, you could look at him, I could look at him and see there's something more in this guy. Whatever this monkey, this gorilla just got him all out his wits. When I found out his daddy was a preacher, I had to talk to him about it. Sometimes we think our job is to hit the three-pointer at midcourt to save the game. Your job might be just to take the ball out and pass it.
Yes, sir.
Choo, the next time I saw Michael, he stopped shooting dope. His back was erect. And he was riding a brand new bicycle with brand new gear on. I'm here to tell you that no matter what you're going through, somebody else done been through it. And somebody else done been through it. They got to the other side. Choo, that's what you are. You help people. You know, I thought you had some Jesse Jackson in your blood when you came up with Communiversity. Only you would come with Communiversity. We got Jesse Jackson and flipped and eating everything. Where'd you get Communiversity from?
No, man, we were, you know, and that's what I'm saying. When you get the meeting of the minds and you on that, you know, I'm big on getting on the whiteboard and bringing intelligence like yourself to the forefront. So we talk and we trying to figure out what it is that we're going to do, what's going to be catchy. I knew I wanted something to elevate Baltimore, and I said, Arise Baltimore. I had that part, right? But then I was like, what's the theme? We dealt with the unrest. We're dealing with the stuff with George Floyd. There's other things that's happened throughout all these different cities. And I said, the one thing that I know, when you get on a college campus, you just get in line. I remember bringing all my neighborhood guys that act crazy, wild, and everything. I put them on that campus. They just obeyed. It was like they was having fun. They forgot they was in the hood. They was behaving. They was running after young ladies. They was enjoying people, the step shows, the this, playing pool, watching games. I said, wow, this all it take? So I thought about that, and I said, the university campus will always balance everything. So I said, now we talking community. So we all know the definition of community and what community is about. So let's put them all both together. So now we bring an inclusive environment called Communiversity. And that's going to help crime a little bit. So when they come on this campus, everybody going to come on there knowing it's something positive. You can let your head down. Everybody's going to greet. Everybody's going to elevate. But it's going to be a lot of people looking like us. You see, most of the time we go to places and it's the other ethnic groups that put it in place, right? And then we crumb ourselves in there, right? For those that can afford or those that feel comfortable. But now this time, this going to be the people that put this together, and then everybody going to come into our world inclusive, and people going to see that Black people know how to love, Black people know how to be professional, Black people know how to act right, and Black people know how to bring people together.
Hold up. We don't know that?
No, we don't know that. Now, I think we know, but I think the implementation of it gets skewed.
Or is it the media is constantly feeding us the garbage about who we are? I refuse to watch the news about this E. coli situation in West Baltimore. You know why?
Why?
Because it's dominating the people's thinking around here. I
Yes, it
don't want to
is.
watch the news. I went into the dollar store 2 days ago on Pennsylvania Avenue, and 2 people were buying water like they were really going to save their life. Having talked to my scientist buddy, he reminded me E. coli is always in the water.
Mm.
You've been drinking a certain amount of E. coli all your life.
Wow.
It's a natural part of the ecological system. But somebody messed up either at the filtration plant or DPW, and they missed their assignment. They were supposed to set a pick, and they missed it. They were late, high, absent, incompetent, but somebody missed their assignment.
Mm.
I remember initially, and I done got calls from all over the state. Oh, Donnie, are you okay? Donnie, you need some water. Donnie, we care about you. And I appreciate that. I almost had to cut the phone off.
Mm.
But then I just got a phone call this morning. I got to leave here and go down to Harlem Park because Antoine down there, you know Twan, he do the basketball camp at Robert C. Marshall.
Right.
He doesn't like the way that some city workers who do match the majority demographics of Sandtown, how they're treating the people who live here.
Mm.
How black people are treating black people. Choo, before you came on, I was going through my notes and I ran across this story, and I mentioned it for a similar reason. We often talk about how they treat us. I'm reading an article now entitled, it's by D.G. Hewitt, 10 Black Slave Owners That Will Tear Apart Historical Perception. I'm going to say it again. 10 Black Slave Owners who will tear apart historical perception. We're often talking about what other people do to us. What about what we do to each other? I'm going down here to cover a story about how we treating each other in the middle of crisis. These are supposed to be some city workers who ain't but one paycheck from being in a food line like everybody else.
You know, Donnie, I deal with this every day. You spoke about the indoctrinations, right? A lot of the indoctrinations are plaguing our community so bad that we're starting to look at people that's close to us with the third eye. The trust factor is killing us. I mean,
you ever heard of a VIP repast for a funeral?
That's
our people that got silly in the we have an RSVP private repast for the funeral. We done lost our cotton picking minds.
Yeah, we got to do better, and a lot of that has to do, man, with we shortcutting a lot of things. It used to be a time where it was very important that we communicate, and it was very important that we listen to one another so we can find solution. Nowadays, we texting, we emailing our emotions, we expressing through short form, low tolerance conditions. Our patience are short. Like, we don't take the time with each other anymore. And I think that, along with all the other stuff that's going on, the economics, the social conditions, now all of a sudden we just dealing like everybody is a free anarchy. Everybody for themselves.
Chaos.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. And I watch it. And we got to change it, man. And how we change it is, unfortunately, man, what I had to learn and I had to bow down to, and you've told me many times, but I wouldn't listen. And I finally started really realize, like, I really thought that when you're a good person and you show who you are, I always thought that people would adhere to that and folks would get on board and rally amongst that. But you know what the key is? And it's designed this way. Whoever controls the bag controls the narrative. That's how it works. Economics is simple. If I got the economics, you're going to listen to me. It's simple. Because that's what only anybody listens to. You could be saying the same thing and you could say it better to educate me, but let a Jay-Z or let a somebody that people look up to and think that their stuff don't stink, let them say it. They're going to be like, such and such, man, you heard that from Donnie. You hear it all the time from Donnie. But if Donnie had the bag, now Donnie's the gospel.
I do have the bag.
No, but you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about, we know what the bag is, but I'm talking about the societal illusion.
I know, but the word speaks about that. It speaks about don't pay attention to those people. You know they got blood money. They will get their due. God might give you access to that blood money to clean that money.
But that's the point. See, I didn't go there. I didn't go that. See, it's all about who has it and what the person does to transform it in a good way. See, I'm starting to understand the stewardship of finances, how God sees it. We can go on and on with that, but I mean that's a whole long.
But you can't just stop that. Finish that.
See, God, if you really read and study, God wants us to be rich. He does. He wants us to have things in abundance. The problem is you have to surrender to him to be able to do the things that's necessary to edify his people, which is your brothers and sisters. So it's not about you having a bag for you. It's about you having the bag to disperse to everyone and have it structured and organized systematically that everybody adhere to the wholesomeness, the goodness, the love that's filtrated and doing things the right way.
See, that's why they ain't never let you in them gangs, because you was going to try to turn them gang members all into servants of the good Lord.
You gotta understand the spirit is the key. I fell in love with you. Not the bag, but I'm just saying the spirit. See,
that's the bag.
That's the bag.
That's the bag.
But that's the bag that takes the bag to make sure that we elevate, because we got to eat, right? So we can't eat for free.
Choo, suppose God gave you, now I've met you, what,
15 years ago.
Imagine if you were saying this 15 years ago. Imagine if you were back then where you are mentally now.
Had to go through something. Had to go through something.
What you talking about? What you have to learn?
I had to learn a lot because I came in naive. See, when you listen and surrender to the spirit.
Oh, man, there you go. There you go.
That's when you can start taking things and opportunities that was afforded to you. See, a lot of us are not even ready for the opportunities because our consciousness has not caught up with our heart. And our heart is not in conjunction with our consciousness.
That's why the coach only give you 30 seconds at a time.
Exactly.
Like, damn, coach, I just got in.
Because the game is too fast for you.
No, coach, I can dribble.
See, you warming up. You warming up slow. When you got to warm up game speed. How you going to get the shot off with Donnie Glover all in your system? But you cool. That's how you warm. That's how you work out. Now you get that gorilla up in you. You can't even dribble. Can't get your shot off.
Choo, I wasn't that good of a scorer, but I would take the opponent's left because most of them were right. I'd take their left. Or if they were righty, you take their right. You make them go the opposite way to their weak side.
Yep.
And when you see the weakness, you just press it.
You press it.
And I'm going to get that ball.
That's what they doing. That's what society is doing to us. Ha ha. Yeah. That's
You mean our boys, before they reach the age of 8, 9 years old, they already being pressed, forced to make a quick decision.
Come on,
you and I got a homeboy that just come home after 42 years. One of the baddest basketball players ever seen in this town. But he did something when we was 14, and 42 years later, he just coming home to the streets.
Man, it's deep out here, Don. And that's why, I wanted to say this before you go into something else. Donnie, man, I'm just so proud of how you've evolved, man. Like look at the background.
You had a book first.
But I'm just saying, look at you, man. Like, look at the background. Look beautiful, man. Like you're always evolving, and through the technology, through your business, you're just evolving, man. And that's what it's about, man. This looks like this is beautiful, man.
Well, we can't wait to get the show popping. Come on, let's get to the specifics. You now have the former Green Spring, right? That's Green Spring?
Yeah, 4701 Green Spring Avenue. Yep.
The community. You brought together a number of people, some of the same people who have been pushing you to do this. I remember first meeting you, you were going to build something in Woodlawn.
Yep.
Ambassador Road, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you're right.
But you moved and you kept moving, and this moved around. You stayed consistent. If something went down in Sandtown, you were right there. Will tells me. You told me they called you to stop some foolishness. You all the way in Owens Mills. They calling you back to Sandtown. But now the community is a reality. You've been working for this probably longer than 15 years, and it's not like your work started. I understand you had the council Meadowlark Lemon.
Yeah, man. It's
No, don't gloss over it. NBA and Harlem Globetrotter legends. I saw you over at the Black Museum, the new Black Museum, and these people treated you like royalty. I was like, whoa.
No, I mean,
yes, they know you by name, and they ask you to be their leader. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. But Donnie, to be honest, Donnie, and I say this, and I know you're bringing this up, Donnie, I know my lane, man. And the one thing that I understand is that I'm okay. And I told you this a long time ago. The reason I have some respect from a lot of those guys is because I hold them guys up in the highest light, and I'm okay with carrying the water. See, I carry the water with a lot of those guys. I grab the ties. I earn my keep with them to let them know this is who I am. And when you do that and you become selfless, that's attractive to people. And then they want you to go with them. And then before you know it, they're bringing you forth and they're saying, can you lead the charge? Because you have these qualities of being selfless. So that's all, man.
And integrity.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta be who you say you are, man. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, people hear me speak, people see me in these different places, but to be honest, I love working hard and I love helping and serving people, and I love to see people win. And they don't even have to mention me. Long as they win, I'm like, my man, we got another one in position. Another one win, my man, another one in position. Like, I want to say something about somebody and on the show, because I want everybody to give him love. And he's your great friend. and a lot of people don't know, Brother Bay passed away. And Brother Bay sat with my dad. Brother Bay sat with my dad, and they grew up together. They forgot that they knew each other some 50 odd years ago. And they sat and ate food and just bonded and built in the backyard. And it was the most beautiful thing ever. So I
He
talked to
came to my
Stokey.
corner when they were giving me
I know. We know.
drug trafficking.
And
Shut it
Bay,
down.
so Stokey, who's Bay's dad, Stokey's my guy. Love him and everything. So it's funny, man. Like every time we talk to each other, he'll call me, I'll call him. So as soon as I call him, he pick up on the first ring. My God, oh my God, and he had so much excitement in the time that he lost his pop. And he was like, man, your phone called me and everything. And I love you, man. Whatever you need, and it just feels good when you got organic, wholesome, thorough people that's been in them trenches, and now they have reestablished their life, and they want the better for everybody. And it just big shout out goes to that family. I love them, man, and Donnie, you know what they mean to us, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. And he lived a good life. I got a chance to tap into his mind, and I thank God. And
You didn't really know him unless you had an argument with him.
Yeah. He sure is business, ain't he, man?
Al started off with a fight.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. Not a physical
I mean,
fight.
not a guffing fight, but I eventually looked at that man like a daddy.
My man.
Because, like you said, he was what he said he was.
Yes, he was, man.
If he asked you to come out the Pulaski Highway to this car wash that he created for the young people to make some money, he expected to see you.
And you better show up.
You better be a man of your word.
Yes.
Because when I called him, he showed up on Carrollton and Winchester. And whatever they thought they had, they took it and left because Brother Bay was there. And this corner has been clean for 20 years since. Ain't no dope in the 1100 block in North Carrollton. You can take that to the bank. You know about the S&D Standard & Poor's and all the credit ratings? Ain't no dope in the 1100 block of Carrollton. Maybe around the corner, but not on this block. And it ain't the German Shepherd, although he's pretty bad. It started with Brother Bay. The angels prayed on that corner because that's where the school is. And when he came at the time, there was a school there. Dope ain't nothing new. Respect ain't nothing new. It's this level of disrespect. So Stokey's a better man because he had a Brother Bay. And I'm just glad that they were good in the end because we all go through these journeys. Sometimes we got to go full circle. With our dad, with our spouse, with our children. Sometimes you got to need a long-handled spoon.
Yes, sir.
Choo, how can people, what's on the agenda? You saw Tyrone Taborn put up cryptocurrency. I can only imagine the topics you're going to cover at the communiversity, including relationships.
Yes. It's funny. I want to eventually connect with Taborn because we met with Microsoft. So we have a big meeting with Microsoft, and one of the components that they spoke about was our STEM program. So
he's the guru.
So we need to really talk because Microsoft wants to come and partner with us. When I did the Big Three, Young Three, we had a great time with that last month, and they were impressed with what we put together and what we have, and they really want urban kids to get the opportunity to be in this technology space that'll be enhancing in the next 10, 15 years. It's going to be at a whole nother level. So we want to make sure the young people have access and they have something to look forward to. Because to be honest, in the technical space, these kids are geniuses. You know, they really are. And
Lauren
they,
Hill said she's in her travels all over the world, she's learned that what differentiates one kid from another is not ability, but access.
yeah,
Access to education, access to opportunity, access to love.
and
When
that's
Andre Alonso came in, he got rid of 75% of the principals. That was Miss Frisbee, Miss Nottingham, Miss Parks, all of them black mamas that got us through Baltimore City public schools when they had no damn money. Now they got all the money in the world and creating a piss poor product academically. We just got to get back to basics, man. You say it all the time.
fundamentals,
You
man.
tell the kids, you better know these fundamentals. Why are you
Fundamentals.
making me dribble, Chew? Why are you making me dribble 2 balls at the same time? Why are you making me dribble for 3 weeks straight? I want to shoot.
Yep. Everything is a process, man. And with this new project, I just want to put out there that we just need people to understand that this is not ours, this is everybody's. And we're trying to really bring a safe space and a safe haven for our young people to see a model. It's too much pain. It's too much things that's happening out here, and there's a lot of contradictions. So people are thinking one thing, they're thinking another, and I don't want to fail the kids, and sure enough, don't want to fail the community. So it's very important that we're going to have a lot of workforce development pieces in here. We're going to have the academic piece, the life skill piece, the seniors being connected to the young people because the seniors have a lot of great stories and a lot of knowledge and wisdom that can help young people to understand. We're going to really, we're going to really have full transparency in that. And then, we're going to have the housing piece, but it's going to be something that we can feel proud of, something that we know that'll be good for our young people and the community. And we can wake up saying, man, we going to the community. Like everybody say, we going down Fells Point or like we going down to Harlem. We got to have something that we're going to that we can feel good about and that is safe. So we're going to teach the police how to deal with citizens and teach the citizens how to respect the police. We got to get back to understanding respect is earned, it's not given, and we got to love each other. And the only way they're going to see love is that we show love within this project. So we got a lot of community people that we have had their input in the project. As we continue to evolve with the master planning of it, we're going to evolve everybody. This is not.
I imagine you dealing with people. Some people have the financial resources. Other people have the technical expertise. Other people might know the streets. How is it you are successfully able to bring these different minds together? I know you had to kick somebody's ass. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't
To be honest, Donnie, it goes back to the books, and it goes back to how you listen, and it goes back to what's your tone and how you talk to people. So first of all, I'm going to educate you on what you think I don't know. That's number one. I know what your job entails, and I know what your responsibility is supposed to be. Now, whether you've been carrying out that responsibility or not, that's on you. But with this project, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to show you that we hold ourselves accountable. So there's going to be a standard that's met. We're going to do our due diligence, and we're going to force you to do your due diligence. And then more importantly, we're going to make sure it's beneficial to you as well as the community and as well as what we're trying to emphasize. So we've been able to knock down some barriers, create some conversations, and bring people together to say, if you don't come and be a part of this, then you're the problem. Because you have a man that grew up in this town, a man that wants the best for everybody. And how are you going to refuse that when everybody else wants the best for their own individual position? So everything that we're speaking about and everything we're putting out there, we're projecting us, we, not I and my and me. So it's very important that this is what we're doing. So you're telling me you don't love this city. You're telling me you don't love your own kids because you got to teach your own kids inclusion, even though you living in the high rise penthouse, or you living out in the county with your mansion or whatever. But understand this: when you come, you cannot avoid pain, trauma, and people that going to do what they want to do regardless. So for me, I know when I grew up in the hood, I had to fight. It's simple as that. I got my butt kicked a lot, but I had to get right back out there and let you know I'm not going nowhere. So understand this: when young people are out here and their lives are threatened, they have choices to make. And those choices are either I'm going to join them or I'm going to fight them.
But you can't just say that. There was a shooting yesterday at Carver. Last week there was a shooting at Mervo.
Yeah.
Kids coming out of school expecting to go to practice, not laying in a puddle of blood.
But Donnie, see, I have a couple people that I've been working with that's in these schools, right? And the problem is, and like I was getting at just now, you have to understand when I've dealt with the gangs, right? I know some of the leaders and some of the young people. It's simple for them. I'm in pain and I can't see beyond my situation. Like,
do you know a Negro told me, I see this Negro every day going to the store. This Negro said he got coke and dope. I tell this Negro, but I don't get high. This black man said, you ain't got to get high to buy it.
You crazy, man.
I had to turn my head and play like I am and get up out of there. But I wanted to ask him, who do you know? I'm 57. Who buys coke or dope not to use it? When you go carrying poison, remember in The Godfather, they say give the dope to the N-word, to the triggers. When I look out in my alley, I see people who don't match the majority demographics of this community chasing dope. Despite all of that trash that Donald Trump is talking, I know what I see in the alley. And it's none of that stuff that he portrays. So he's getting a lot of people riled up on this race thing, race ride, fear of a black planet. I mean, that's what all of this is about, abortion. In 2022, we're talking about abortion.
That's
really?
amazing.
You gonna tell a woman what to do? How can people support you, man? Is there a phone number that goes with this website? Say they want to drop you $10 billion because you're the only damn athlete I see out here sticking with it. Now, I ain't saying ain't some others out there, but I don't see them. Not in Baltimore.
No, I mean, Don.
You can't tell me I don't see them.
No,
Plus,
man.
they ain't give me no Chew Smith sweatsuit, so I don't care about them no way.
And I owe you a couple more, man. But
no,
but
you
Don,
taught me a lesson that it's now my job to do the same thing for somebody else. To get them something that they can hold on to and appreciate. That's what you taught me. Pass the ball.
No, it's beautiful, Donnie, man. Back to your question, man. Yes, everything is online. Please go to chouyouth.org. And just look at the project. Want you all to go to Arise Baltimore, the community. It's choosmith.com. If you go on there, you'll be able to see the project at hand, the nuances of it.
ChooSmith.com.
Yep, choosmith.com. Yep. And you go to the link, Arise Baltimore, and you can see everything. Um, we're excited, but we do need people to rally. I challenged my board of directors. I challenged some of the funders. I said, please, man, like we can't go it. And I leave you with this, Donnie.
Don't take your time. This is the most important part.
Okay. I challenge everybody because one of the things I was sharing with the board and I was sharing with some people was that too often we say, what do you need? And too often we say, if you need me, call me, or things of that. But this is some game changing stuff. And I know it's probably like, okay, Choo is doing it, and maybe I'm not close to you, or maybe I'm not somebody that you rock with or you feel, but my heart is in the right place, and I'm willing to talk with those that want to do the work and those that want to help the work that's being given. We have got to rally amongst each other, and we need everybody. And this is something that is dear to me, and I know that it will affect some change. But it's a ton of people that got big businesses, a ton of people that have money and resources. Let's rally behind this, and let's put a good light on Baltimore. And that's all I ask, to come if you have some big money people and you got some resources and you got some things that can help scale this. Please contact us, and man, it's really going to be good. We assembled a phenomenal team. We got a lot of top line professionals, and that's where I made my mistakes in the past. To some people that dealt with us before, a lot of our back office stuff was not in order properly like it should have been. Take full responsibility for
You
that.
don't get all the millions without having your paperwork. I know you got that paperwork in order.
Yeah. So we had to hire and put together an awesome team. So now we're in order, and now we're working and operating in the way that is supposed to be.
But let me tell you something. This is a double standard. You remember Jerry Lewis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ain't seen one damn kid get help. What Jerry Lewis do with all that damn money? Every Labor Day they have a all-day telethon.
Yeah.
Where that money go at? See, these people, American Cancer Foundation, they've been raising money since forever. What the hell have they solved? Where the money at?
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, man.
We've seen you do the work.
No, I appreciate it, and forever grateful, Donnie. And we just gotta bound together, man. Like, I'm gonna do my part. I know you're gonna do your part, because we gotta put your show up in there, man. I told you that. We gotta
and
make
we want
sure.
to train some new journalists.
Yup, we gotta do that. So we're gonna make it happen, man. I'm down in it. Ain't no quitting me. We've been in this for a while. We done got a lot of no's, a lot of you crazies, and a lot of.
I'm gonna give you a chance right now to secure at least $2 million. If you had a chance to go back to high school and choose Poly or City.
Hey, Donnie, I can't do it, baby. City forever, fam. City forever. Now you telling me to go against the creed, man.
You don't want to wear a little orange and blue. We love you, Choo. Thank you for loving us. Man. Shout out from Sandtown from your main man, Will. He's looked like he had some back challenges, but he's walking better and better every day.
Love him, man. Will, love you, baby. Love you, Donnie. Donnie, keep winning out here, man.
The world of you. Your homeboy since you were little teeny boppers.
Yeah.
He always, and now that he knows I know you, I knew Will since he was a little kid.
Will, Hey, Will is the best, man. When I tell you he been down in the thick of that, making sure people are safe, getting wounded, doing whatever it takes to love them babies, man. And Will could play. Will had game too, so it's a beautiful
I
thing,
didn't
man.
know
And
that part.
yeah, Will could play, man. And
Well, I'm
I
gonna
just
strip him next time I see him.
yeah, tell him I said when you see him, man, tell him say I love him, man. And I gotta take him to lunch again. I just been down there, man. Love y'all, man.
Much love. Donnie Glover out. Have a good day, world. Good morning.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.